Okay. So this is going to be a sort of cleanup video, or cleanup stream, I guess you could say. I'm literally just trying to find the last of the blueprints, which I think there's 2 or 3. So the last of the blueprints, and also the books to upgrade them. And the reason we're doing that is because they are the last trophies that the last trophy I need is the Craftsman trophy, which is basically just upgrading all the blueprints. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So we'll go into all these dark zones and try and collect all the books. Hopefully the rest of them didn't see me. But basically I've just got to collect all of the little books and things that you find lying around and use those to fully upgrade all my blueprints. And once I've done that, we will be fine and dandy to get the Platinum. It's the last trophy I've got. It's the one I've been putting off the most. I just haven't really played it much the last couple of days. I have 100% it, so I've done everything else. Literally the only thing I haven't done in the game that there is to do is max out all the blueprints. I've done all the side quests, done everything else. I've even explored all the dark zones, got pretty much every piece of gear apart from that pair of pants you saw before. That's the only thing I haven't done. So I think I'm actually going to craft some throwing knives so that I can instantly take these guys out, which I can't do because apparently you need wiring for a throwing knife. I swear wiring's the biggest headache when it comes to upgrading these blueprints. Don't mind me also if you hear any funny noises in the background. I am having a munch and drinking some coffee. I was going to try and make a throwing knife to instantly execute these guys, but for some reason you need wiring to make a throwing knife. I will say I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with this. I have a review coming out later this Arvo probably, and I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with it, and I will replay it, but I'll probably replay it on PC just because there's not a hell of a lot to do, and once I get the Platinum there's really no point to keep playing it on here unless they start adding events and stuff like that soon, because there's just not a lot of in-game content. And that's not me having a whinge or anything, because I do actually really enjoy playing it. But yeah, I just don't think there's a hell of a lot of in-game content at the moment to justify replaying it. I've actually been going back and playing Dying Light 2 a hell of a lot again. I really like that game. I know it's a bit of a controversial take. A lot of people don't like it, but I actually really enjoy it. I think it's actually a really good game. And I think that they have definitely redeemed themselves in fixing that game. They've actually done a really good job at fixing it, because the game was a broken mess when it first came out, and I played it in its release version, and I was not a fan. It wasn't even then, it wasn't a bad game. It just felt like a very... It wasn't a bad game, it just felt like a very unfinished game. like you couldn't even pick up weapons that other people that you'd knocked off a drop, you know. So a basic mechanic that's in every other game that ever existed. So I definitely think, there we go, there's 2. I definitely think they have redeemed themselves in some regard. In fact, the game is night and day better than it used to be. Like, I genuinely believe it is a good game. And I've got a review coming out for that too, because I haven't done a video on it since my old channel, which I lost the password for, and I was gutted because I had quite a bit of content on there a couple of years ago. So it's probably about time I do an updated review. I have been a fan of the series since it first ever came out. I pre-ordered the first Dying Light. I was actually watching the alpha builds. I was about 13 years old. And I used to play Dead Island with my dad when I was younger. So when I saw that Dying Light was coming out, I thought I was instantly intrigued by obviously the parkour aspect and everything. And I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And I pre-ordered it when I turned 14 because I got a job mowing my neighbour's lawn so I could buy it. That and Fallout 4 were the 2 games that I literally got one of my first jobs. I had jobs prior, but that was my first self-owned business, I guess you could call it, and I literally started it to buy Dying Light and Fallout 4, which came out I think a year apart, maybe just a little bit less. But in saying that, 2 of my favourite games of all time, as I said before, I love Dying Light 1, I love Dying Light 2, I love Dying Light the Beast. This game is really good for what they've done with it. But I will say that I still think Dying Light 1's my favourite. I've seen a lot of people say that this gives it a run for its money. I believe this does give it a run for its money. I do genuinely believe that. But I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's better than Dying Light 1. I think Dying Light 1... I think Dying Light 1 nailed a lot of the stuff right. My only problem with Dying Light 1 was at launch, because I played it since day one. It doesn't take long to finish all of the basic side quests and everything like that, much like this game, whereas Dying Light 2 tried the whole choices approach. And there are a lot of filler quests, you know, just stuff they've thrown in there to sort of take up time. But I will say, I like the fact that they've got bounties and things like that in Dying Light 2 that you can go on the Pilgrim's Outpost. You can pick up bounties, you can then complete those bounties, go back to the Pilgrim's Outpost, redeem them for weapons and stuff for in-game. I do like that. And I hope I don't see why they won't, but I do hope they add that to this, because it adds a massive sense of replayability. Because whenever I got bored, or I got on, you know, got on the beers with my mates or whatever, we'd just chill, and like, say for example, if I had me wife or whatever here, I would just jam Dying Light 2, would have a couple of drinks and be chill, and I'd just have a jam, run around, complete some bounties while we chatted about life and stuff. So Dying Light, the whole game series, mostly the first one, but the whole series has a special place in my heart. And I don't say that to sound sappy or anything. Right, we're going to go... I do need to go get that booster. But I just want to collect these books for a bit. Because these are what I need to upgrade the blueprints. But yeah, so the whole Dying Light series has a special place in my heart. It was one of the first games, and if not the first game I ever spent more than 100 hours on. Believe it or not. Oh dear. I will say one issue I do have with this game is the parkour. It's a lot slower and clunkier compared to Dying Light 2. Come on, climb. See what I mean? Like that just animation locked me there. Yeah. So I do have a little bit of an issue with the way the parkour works in this at the moment anyway. But that's more just, I don't know, I just feel like at times it's not very responsive in the sense, like if you're trying to grab a ledge, or something, Kyle doesn't actually grab the ledge, he kind of like sits there, or like you'll climb up the side of a building and you'll get to like the last point and he can't like get over that last little section. It's a bit infuriating sometimes, but it doesn't ruin the game, to me anyway. It just makes it a bit more frustrating, I guess you could say, just because. And everything costs a lot more too. I've noticed that in this. Everything costs a lot more than Dying Light 2. Which, my main thing I like about Dying Light 2 is the parkour. Like, just how fluid it is. Yeah, okay, I understand. You've got like some like super mutant abilities and things like that. Some superhuman abilities where you can jump stupid heights. You can, you name it, you can do it. But I do think it fits into the plot. And I think Kyle's always been more of a tank. Kyle's always been more of like a tank sort of class, whereas Aiden's been more, not of a ranger or like, not a sniper class, but he's always been more of like an agile class. He can run fast, jump high, evade enemies and things like that, whereas Kyle can just head first, kind of. Alright, we're in. Again, we're just looking for some books. Overall, I think they've done a bloody good job with this though. It is the most Dying Light feeling Dying Light since Dying Light 1. I won't say ever. I know a lot of people say it is the most Dying Light feeling Dying Light ever, but I have to disagree with that, and I only disagree because Dying Light wouldn't be Dying Light without Dying Light 1, so. And I feel like Dying Light 1, yeah, okay, I can't remember if, like, honestly, genuinely can't remember if it was buggy on launch, but I definitely think that the game was a lot more stable. I definitely believe the game was a lot more stable than it is now in the regard of glitches and things like that. I feel like it was, yeah, they worked on it a lot longer, but I think it was just a lot more finished when it came out, and not only that, but there was so much detail on like everything, the ragdoll physics and everything. This game has quite good ragdoll physics as well, but Dying Light 2 was a bit janky in the sense of like you kick a zombie over the roof, but they'd kind of stand in midair for a minute and then fall. Whereas in this, they kind of actually have ragdoll physics. You throw them into a railing or something, they are going to topple over the railing and fall to their death, So it's all those little details that add a much greater depth. And I'm a firm believer that small details make the better game. Like Red Dead 2, for example, part of the reason why that game's so immersive is because you can see the breath coming out of their mouth. You can see the steam coming off the coffee while you're cooking it. Or while you're making it, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. Cooking coffee. You can see the steam coming off it while you're brewing it. I don't know if I've been in this one, so I'm trying to figure out how to get up there. I'm basically, just going to collect everything. My goal for this character anyway, which I think I've got about 50 hours on this particular character, plus I've got other characters as well that I have started a game on. But I think my goal is just to get 100%, and I've always had that. So with Dying Light 2, I owned it on PS4 first, completed the game, did everything there was to do on PS4. Then I moved to the PS5 version, did everything again on there. But now what I usually do is I do everything there is to do on the PS5 version. I do everything there is to do on the PS5 version. And what I do is I actually started playing it on PC. And what I did was I'd play it on PC, but I'd then go back now the screen is gone, we can kind of wreak havoc. And basically what I'd do is I'd go back to the game again. And every time they brought an event out, I'd come back to my character and I'd just do the event, get the weapons, and then not touch it again. And then what I'd do is, because I was playing it on PC at the same time, or the Xbox, because that's what I did, I completed it on all the platforms and tried to get all the achievements on all platforms. I got the Platinum trophy, and then I went to PC, and then I went to Xbox, and basically what I've been doing is I've been going through these games, and I'd go back to the events, do the events so I could get the weapons, because they're one-time weapons. I have had a few bad bugs, though, where I've earned a few weapons on Pilgrim's Outpost and gone back. Sorry about that, I had to mute it because I was about to sneeze. I had a few bugs where I'd go to like the Pilgrim's Outpost, and while I was on there I'd earn a whole bunch of weapons. Then I'd go back to the Pilgrim's Outpost after I've earned those weapons, and they'll let me redeem them for the PlayStation, but I can't redeem them on PC, but I can redeem some of them. Like I can redeem half of a couple of bundles, so I don't know if that's just a weird bug they've got going on or what, but I can only redeem like half of my bundle. And it is a bit frustrating, especially with some of the grind that I did. But basically, I'll just do events. I'll just do events to grind for weapons and things like that. Treasure map, okay, I'll keep that. I'll just grind for events and stuff, get all the weapons. Take key, okay, so that'll be a key for that. I didn't get any more books. Oh, the keys for that. But the grind can be unreal for some things. Like, for example, there's a whole nother floor. I like how in-depth these are too. There is a massive amount of depth to these little dark zones now. But basically, yeah, there's just a lot of depth and things to it. But yeah, I like being able to go back and sort of like complete these little challenges and things like that. So I hope they add them into this. I don't see why they won't. I know they're already planning I think it's a PUBG crossover. I think that's what I saw. I saw a Backboard Films video about it earlier. I think he was talking about a PUBG crossover. Which I don't know, I've never really played PUBG, I've never really been into Battle Royale. I played a couple of games of Fortnite back when it first came out and I could just not get into it. It just wasn't my game. That's all I'll say. But yeah, I feel like there's a few different avenues, I guess, I feel like they could have done in that regard. But as I say, I actually, this is definitely one of my favourite games. This will be my game of the year, I guarantee you. I know not much has come out, up to now, but like Borderlands and that kind of thing, it doesn't really interest me too much. This is the sort of game that I've been waiting for. As I say, massive fan of Dead Island and that when I was younger. They're also teased Dead Island 3 on Steam. I don't know if anyone saw that, but yeah, they teased Dead Island 3 on Steam, so let's hope we see that sometime in the near future. So I didn't actually get any other books from that. Alright, we're going to go to the library apartment. That's all this stream's really going to be. It's just me grinding these dark zones. I really want that last trophy so I can get the platinum. I've platinumed Dying Light 2. I got all the achievements for the base game on Xbox when it first came out. And I've platinumed Dying Light 2. I want to platinum this. And I'm also going for the 100% achievements for all 3 games on Steam as well. So my only problem with Steam and Xbox with the achievement thing is, and this is something I will give credit to PlayStation for, is I love the way the trophy system works in the sense that DLC trophies or update trophies are separate. They're not part of the base game trophies, and the reason I say that is because I've had so many games like Dying Light 1 where I would 100% the game, get all the achievements and everything, and then they'd update the game and I would be back at like 80% or something, because they've updated it and I've lost my progression. So I definitely feel like PlayStation, and to be honest with you, that's why I still stick with PlayStation. That is my main reason for sticking with PlayStation. Not just that, I like the I've gotten used to the controller and things like that. And also, in my eyes, and I'm going to get a bit of hate for this, but I don't really see a point in buying an Xbox anymore. I actually still have a 360 set up. And I love my Xbox 360. It's got some bangers on it. Most of them are backwards compatible, so I'd play them on my Xbox One back in the day. But me personally, I just don't see a point in owning an Xbox anymore, considering Xbox, like PC has everything an Xbox has now. Yeah, PC costs 3 times as much, but if you get a PC, you can play PlayStation and Xbox games in one place. The only reason I really play PS5 still is on launch day, like games like this where I got it for free. I'll play them on here because I'm guaranteed that they'll run better than, well, I won't say perfect, because some games don't run perfect on launch. But man, that grab's annoying. I can see why people were complaining about it. But basically, yeah, it can be a bit... I forgot, I lost my train of thought now. Yeah. So basically, I got the game for free because I had the Ultimate or Digital Deluxe Edition of Dying Light 2 on here. I've also got it free on the Xbox, but as I say, I won't play it on the Xbox unless, it's in a couple of years' time and I really want to play through it again, because I don't see a point when I can just get it on PC now as well. But basically, the way I see it anyway, is you play it on PS5 or whatever, you're not guaranteed the game to run perfect, because a lot of games that come out now don't run perfect. They really don't. They actually run quite poorly. They actually run really poorly, some of them. Look at Borderlands 4. I love making digs at Borderlands 4 because I'm so sick of arrogant game developers doing and saying things like they do. I actually found that quite funny. I was watching a full breakdown of what old mate said about Borderlands 4, and people were complaining about it, and he was like, oh, well, you know, why don't you go code your own engine before you start complaining? And my first thought was, but they didn't code their own engine. They used Unreal Engine, which is known for having bad performance. I've made a couple of indie games we've got a few books there. I've made a few indie games in Unreal Engine, and I've made a few in Unity, and I'll say Unreal Engine definitely looks better. It's definitely got better physics and everything, but I, in certain games, don't think that's a good trade-off for performance. You know, you can make some good first-person shooters in Unity, which run better. I won't say they run really good, because I have had some performance issues with Unity as well, but they definitely run better than... Alright, so that must go upstairs or something. But I want to see, because there's stuff over here I can collect. So I'm trying to figure out whether that's in like another building, or... I will say I really like the depth they've gone to with these little dark zones as well. Like, you know, they're only little sort of areas that that are designed for you to... Yeah, here we go. They're only little areas that were designed for you to, you know, get loot and stuff, but there's so much variety in them compared to Dying Light 2. Like, Dying Light 2... And see, it's hard for me, because I genuinely believe that in Dying Light 2, they actually saved the game with the constant updates and everything. See, when the game first came out, it was not received very well. It had heaps of bugs and everything. But Techland didn't waver. They, you know, committed. They stuck to their guns. They said, no, we're going to make this a good game. And you know what? I believe they did. I really do. I believe they made a pretty solid title after that. And anyone that complains about it, it's obviously just not the game for them. Like, I actually like, and I'm going to get a bit of hate for this, as someone who loved the original Dying Light, and I loved the way they did the legend levels and everything, I actually really like the way that they've gone about making things like the RPG elements. I actually really like the fact that they've gone towards an RPG approach. You know, not too much so, but they've also, like, the way the inventory works and, like, how you select your different gear sets and things like that. I actually really like that. I think that's a really bold move to try something new, but I also think it paid off, and I do think that they did. There's another one. Nice. I'm getting a few here. I've been struggling to find them in other ones. I've also got a video coming up today. I've actually got two videos, but I've got a video coming up today. Sort of a weapon review, I guess you could say, what weapons I played through the game using, what I prefer, things like that. Right, let's go up here. Okay, so I do apologise for my mic quality too. I actually broke my headset yesterday or the day before, and I had to go buy like something to make do, just for the time being. Obviously it's not temporary, but just something I could make do with for now. So I don't know if the loot ever changes. I feel like the loot change. I tell you one thing I am struggling to find at the moment is gun parts. Some of these zones are supposed to have gun parts, and same with the convoys, and I just cannot, for the life of me, find these gun parts scattered anywhere. I'm just trying to find... I need some expert books, because most of my blueprints are past. You know what? Let's go back to the town hall and see if I can upgrade anything.
Hey, time for the air.
Oh, you know I've got to do this. Where are they?
Shit!
Yeah, you ain't blocking that, cuzzy. You ain't blocking that. I will say another thing I really... I don't know, I guess wish they would add in is a higher level cap. The game just doesn't have a very high level cap. Like 15 is okay for a smaller game, and I understand it's not to the scale of Dying Light 1 or 2, but I hope they add more levels in the future with more perks and stuff. And I only say that, or even legend levels, if they'd add those in. Because it's so slow to level up during the main story and everything, but once you actually level up, you've still got quests left. Like, you know, I feel like with the amount of quests that were in the game, and, you know, they could have at least made the level cap 20. And I'm not complaining, like, I'm just trying to think of things that they could add for, like, end game content, kind of, but at the same time, let's upgrade this while we're here. Nice, so we maxed that one out. I apologise if it sounds weird, I'm drinking coffee. Yeah, so I'm basically going through doing these, but I want to upgrade these blueprints, but I cannot for the life of me find gun parts anywhere. Like, I want to upgrade this one, can't find gun parts. I want to upgrade this one, can't find gun parts. What do I need for that? Cleaning supplies. Let's go see if old mate's selling any, because that's another legendary. This is basically like the most tedious trophy, or one of the most tedious trophies I think I've done in a very, very, very long time. And literally, you've just got to find all these blueprints around the map. And I've got all of them but maybe one or two consumables, which obviously we've seen in those dark zones, so I will have to go get those. But I've also heard rumours that you don't need all of the weapon blueprints, and I'm buying all of that too. You don't need all of the weapon blueprints to upgrade in order to get the trophy. So I don't know how true that is. So basically I'm just going to go in stages. So I believe there's 20 of these. But yeah, I'm just going to go in stages. So I've done all of the throwables. There's one more consumable I need to get to fill that. Obviously you got manuals. These are all done. I don't know why there's extra slots here. I think it's just how they've done the grid, because they'll add them in the future. But I know for a fact there's no more of these I can get. There's a couple of weapons, I think, but apart from that, there might be one more two-handed weapon, and that's it. I've got all these. So that should be pretty much it, and we should just be able to, I guess, upgrade the blueprints and be done with the trophy, get the platinum, and then I can move on to playing it on PC or something. And I want to play it on PC. I do really want to play it on PC. I've actually wanted to play it on PC for a while, just because the PlayStation, I don't know why they do this, but with PlayStation's quality mode, they like to lock... What am I missing? Wiring. Of course. Wiring's always what seems to cripple me here. But basically... Alright, so we're actually going to go and do... Where is it? So we've got enough books now. Okay, I've got... They're the same. Okay, so I've got one more consumable blueprint to get, which we're actually going to go get now, because then I can be done with having to worry about missing blueprints, because I know what will happen is I'll upgrade them all, and then I'll get to the end and go, damn, I'm still missing one, where is it? And then I'll stress. So we might as well go get this one now. Oh, what's happened? I'm stuck. There we go. So, got a few things to clean up around the game, I guess, then, but not a hell of a lot. Oh, it's a pharmacy too, that makes sense. Alright. That windmill move's overpowered, man. Far out. And if there's anything I've learned about this particular Dying Light game, I never had to do this in other ones, but if there's anything I had to specifically do in this Dying Light, it's collect everything. In the older games, you could actually get away without it. Dying Light 2, not so much. Dying Light 1, though, you didn't have to collect a hell of a lot. Most of it you could buy or you'd find, you know, just randomly. Whereas this... I keep eating by accident. That's another thing. The keybinds in this kind of mess me up. Oh, please don't fall through the mat. I've had that happen twice now. Yeah, the keybinds kind of mess me up in this because they're so similar to Dying Light 2, but they're not at the same time. Oh, I got... Okay. I'm not going to object to collecting more of these because I'll need them. Yeah, it's so similar but so much different to Dying Light 2 at the same time. Like the grapple hook, for some reason they've changed it to the bumper. They've changed the kick to X as opposed to thing. But then they've added proper aiming, which that is nice, I will say. Being able to aim like an actual FPS is a big win. Nice. Let's see if we've got any wiring. I know it's not part of this thing, but let's see if we've got any wiring. There's actually something else I want to test as well. I want to turn film grain off. I might test that really quick. I don't like film grain in games, I really don't. Video. Yeah, that already looks better. Yeah, I always turn film grain off. I don't like film grain. I actually think it ruins the game. Not this game in particular, but in general. Every game I've ever played. Resident Evil, Dying Light 2, even a couple of the Halo games that used to have it on by default. See, that looks so much better. Yeah, so I'm always toggling it off when I can. Okay, so we've got that one. So I've got that. Does that count for that too? Yep, okay. So they were the same. Yep, so that should be the last blueprint for... Oh no, one more. Damn, I'm looking like an idiot today. What's in here? Alright, we're going to go get that because that seems to be the last one. So we'll go do that. And then we'll go... There's none that really specialise in wiring at the moment. I don't know. Wiring's kind of my biggest... Oh, that one. See, wiring's my biggest issue at the moment. Alright, we're going to go get this blueprint first. Just so I can tidy this up, because now I'm like going to start second guessing myself. So we're going to go get this blueprint first. I also plan on possibly streaming Dying Light 2 later on today. I've actually been playing it a lot. I've spent... Now that I've played this and 100% it and I'm waiting for some new updates for it, I've actually been playing a lot of Dying Light 2. I think I've spent maybe 22 or so hours in the last week on it. And for those of you that are wondering, yes, I do go to work. I have actually had an injury, so I've been home for the last 2 months and I hate it. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to work, which is hopefully going to be next week. And it is a pretty, like, it's a strenuous-ish job. I'm a heavy diesel mechanic, so I work on, like, excavators and trucks and things like that. So it's not the sort of job that they'll let me go to work injured, which is a shame because I've wanted to go to work for a while. And, yeah. So I've been stuck at home with that. I mean, I guess it worked out alright because this game came out while I was at home and managed to play it. You know, that was something I was gutted about in September because I was actually hoping to be back at work by the start of September, and obviously Dying Light the Beast was supposed to come out at, you know, the end of August. And so when they delayed it, I thought, oh damn, I'm not going to get to play it at home. So I'm going to have to be playing it after work, and it's going to take me a while, and I'm not going to be able to create as much content for it because I'm going to be busy with work. But everything worked out. I love the textures and stuff of the leaves on the ground, so especially when you drive through them, they like spray up over you, and it's I think Techland have just done such a good job here. Honestly, I can't really fault them for much. Yeah, a few bugs. Yeah, okay, I wish there was like a high level cap. I wish you could customize your own truck as opposed to, you know... I'd say that's one of my bigger actual complaints with the game, is I wish you could customize your own vehicle like the buggy in Dying Light, the following, as opposed to just getting in and having a skin randomly pop up. I think I talk about that all the time, but that's really my biggest fault with the driving. The driving itself feels really nice, and I'm glad they chose a full drive ute as opposed to a buggy, because a full drive ute's the sort of thing you're more likely to see in a place like this. But I just wish you could customize your own. You know, no Forza or Need for Speed or Gran Turismo style modifying, but like, you know, change the paint scheme permanently, maybe upgrade the speed or the damage resistance, because at the moment the DPS on those vehicles is abysmal, you know. 3 hits, I'll run over one of those dudes with a gas tank and my vehicle will explode. Like, it's pretty bad in terms of how much damage the vehicles can take. I was trying to find the screamer. But see what I mean? Like, they're designed, in Dying Light 2, every store looks the same. Whereas they've actually modelled a proper pharmacy interior. And they don't go over the top. They don't try and make it look unrealistically detailed. You know, realistically, these places are going to be looted. They're going to be things. But, like, even the cardboard, you can see the cardboard's been deteriorating for such a long time. That's just so cool. That's the sort of stuff, to me, that makes a great game. I heard a zombie. I thought I heard a zombie. That stuff to me is what makes a great game. Is, yeah, just all of those little details that come together. Alright. And I am going to loot everything, because I'm hoping to find some wiring or something. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to play the game of sleep, run between the factions, buy, sleep, run between the factions, buy. And it gets a bit old and a bit tedious. There's some wiring. Right, let's do this. Let's get this blueprint. Nice, got some more books as well. There's our blueprint. Boost it. So I'm curious to see how long it actually takes me to platinum this game. I think I've got... This is the character I'm going to platinum the game with, and I think I've got about 50 hours on this character so far. So this is the first character I made when I started playing it. It's the character I collected all the collectibles and everything with, so I'm just going to do everything with it. And like every event that comes out and stuff in the future will be played by this character. And that's usually how that goes. Okay, so we've got that. Right. Okay. So that's that. Let's try and find a safe house. Really quickly, guys, I'm just going to run to the bathroom. Okay. Right, we're back. We're back. So let's find a safe house, probably Exile's Cave. And we'll probably go here because I can actually buy stuff there too. Just trying to have a look around, see if there's anything on the way that may give me wiring, but I doubt it. Yeah, okay. Nothing. Right, head up to the cave. Man, the map is beautiful, eh? I just can't get over like how well... I live in a country town. I grew up in country towns. And I just can't get over how well they've captured the whole vibe of, said country town. There's no place I'd rather be, to be honest. Couldn't live in a city. I'd absolutely hate it. I'd pull my hair out. I lived in a city when I was very young. And never again. Not that I remember much of it. Like, that's how young I was. Right.
Kyle, it's so good to see you.
Jacob, what are you doing here?
Since Lydia, but you were the cat.
Right. Vinda. Okay. Right. So, do you have any wiring? Oh, nice. I'll buy that first, just in case I run out of dosh. Nice. Alright. Now, let's go down to... Oh, it's up there. I forgot about that. I always do that. There's 2 levels, and I always jump down to that level, and then realise that it's actually up here. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. Sick. I'm going to have to craft another one of those. Let's do this one first. Legendary. Yes, I'm assuming when you craft these, it will just, like, it opens up another slot down here. What do I need? Oh, I'm out of cordyceps. Alright, let's have a look at some weapon mods then. So those are done. Let's get this up to legendary. Those are legendary. We need another one of those. Let's max this one out. I know there's a duplication glitch, but I really couldn't be bothered. Like, honestly, I looked at it, but there's nothing I'd rather do less. There's nothing I'd honestly rather do less than sit there for hours, like, disconnecting my Wi-Fi doing this for everything. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Okay, so we've got all of those apart from that one. That one there, we need cordyceps. We also need cordyceps to max out the other one. So that'll bring up all these. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These I don't think you'd have to worry about at all because they're add-on weapons, they're not base game weapons. I'll have to upgrade those two, that one, which we'll just do now. So I have to upgrade that one more time. That one doesn't matter, that one doesn't matter, that one, and that one, and those two. And that should be it. Hopefully that will be platinum achieved. And obviously this one, but we need cordyceps for that. So maybe we'll run back to the other place and get some. I really don't know where you'd get cordyceps though. Nate Market. That's wiring. Taurus Megastore. That's a wiring shop, kind of, I guess you could call it. Let's go back to the town hall. Actually, I wonder.
Haven't they let you in here a bit too early?
Do these guys stock like respawn? Like if I wait till the next morning, does it respawn? Because that could be another way to do this quickly. Obviously I need to raid Dark Zones to get
Don't know how
money.
your supplies holding up.
Okay.
They do. Oh, that's awesome. She does not, however, have any cordyceps, so I'm going to sleep for another day. That is actually a big brain move. If this works, we could smash this out. Yeah, if this works, we could slam this out really quick. Okay. So unfortunately it does not. But I also needed more shotgun ammo. Nice. Okay. Right, so we're going to go to Town Hall in the hopes that their inventory has... You know what? Because I don't feel like running back and forth between them, and there's no fast travel between the two, I think I'm just going to try one more time. I'll sleep one more time, and we'll see if her stock respawns. Alright. Please respawn. No. No, it did not. Okay, I'll leave. I wonder if you have to buy them out before it respawns, but in saying that, I really can't be bothered, like, having to, like, go get money, come back, buy this. Oh, you know, it hasn't respawned. Go get a whole bunch of stuff to sell again. Because that will let us max out, if I can get, because the other one needed cordyceps as well, so if I can get 4 cordyceps, that will max out both the weapon blueprint and the booster as well. And that's that one done, and then we've got... You got to be so careful with these sort of locations as well. I've found that if you hit, or if you touch one of those zombies with the gas canisters on them, and they explode, your truck will blow up, like, instantly. Like, there is no room for forgiveness here. Bonk. Bonk. Reminds me of that duck meme, you mess with the honk, you get the bonk. Is this the way in? I don't know, I've never been in this way. I'm genuinely wondering. Oh, it is too. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Cordyceps, 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 cordyceps. Yes, good man. Right. Buy him out of his wiring as well. Can't sell any valuables. That's okay. Right, let's upgrade these blueprints. Ha! Oh dear. Okay. Why? I want to know. I just want to know, out of curiosity, why it costs so much wiring to build these weapons. 10 wiring for brass knuckles. Like, you can... Well, not brass knuckles, but you know what I mean. 10 wiring. Why on earth would you need 10 for that? I don't know. But that's okay. Okay, so I need to get that. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're making progress. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the stream there, guys. I need to get up and walk around. My eyes are starting to hurt. And I'll probably be on later on doing another stream, maybe for Dying Light 2 or something. And have a little bit of a rest for this for now. Like I say, I really enjoy this. It is probably one of my favorite Dying Lights, but I like them all. But it just gets a bit repetitive doing this kind of thing. You know, going through the same dark zone 30 or 40 times, trying to get all the stuff to max out the blueprint. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, smash that like button. Helps me out, shows you want more. Thanks for watching the stream, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, and goodbye for now.